A very good afternoon to all of you. So we are back with our next session on virtual team building. Now, from last few sessions, we have been discussing about how to make your virtual team work. People sitting at different geographical location, people sitting at different places. It is very difficult to manage them, to make them work. But yes, somehow the managers, the leaders were able to make them work. Now, in today's session, we will be discussing about the types of virtual team. Now, you might be thinking like how there can be different types of virtual team. Like virtual word just mean one thing that the people are working from different geographical location are working from home. The only thing is that they are not working in the same place. Like let's say they are not sharing a common place of working. So when the people are not sharing common place of working, so from whichever location, whichever place they are working, the teams are called to be the virtual teams. But no, as we know teams, there are various different types of teams. Like there are functional teams, there are cross-functional teams, there are self-managed teams, then there are virtual teams. So in virtual team, again, it is divided into various different types. We have different types of virtual teams. So today we will be discussing about the types of virtual team. The first type of virtual team is network teams. What are network teams? So the team members are geographically dispersed. Basically, a team, when we see group of people, what basically a team is? A team basically is group of people working together to achieve the common goals of the organization or for the common task, right? Now, network team means the people are doing the same thing. They are working for the goal of the organization. They are getting paid. They have to report to their managers. They have to abide by all the rules and regulation of the organization. But the only difference when the teams are working virtually is the team members are geographically dispersed. In physical teams, the team are sharing the common workplace. But in virtual teams, when we talk about virtual teams, people are not sharing a common workplace. People are from different geographical locations. They are sitting at the different geographical location and they are working together. They may have members from outside the organization also. Yes, the team may consist of the members who are outside the organization, who are not the part of the organization, but they are the part of the team. The members are often people with different expertise. Whenever we are making a team, network team basically means in this team, the people will be there from different expertise. Each and every person will be having some special expertise in him so that the team can achieve the goals of the organization smoothly. They play the cross-functional role so as to solve a specific issue. Yes, they do play the cross-functional role also whenever they have to solve some specific issues. Very often the people whose role has been finished leave the team. Now, though this is the virtual team, and the virtual team, this is a network team, people usually do not leave the team even if the work is finished. They'll get engaged in some other work, they'll start helping in some other way, but they stay with the team only. So very often the people whose role has been finished leave the team, and this type of virtual team is seen in consulting business and technological field. Now, where do we see these network team? When we are talking about the network team, in which areas, in which business, which organization, which type of business firms do we see these network teams? So basically, these network teams are seen in the consulting business and the technological firm, because see, technological firm again is something where we need people with some expertise knowledge. They should have been expert in at least something. So basically the team members are geographically dispersed, and these type of network teams are seen in the consulting or the technological firms. The second type of team is parallel teams. Now, these teams are form of the members working within the organization. So in network team, what was there? The people who were working virtually, but people were there from outside the organization also, and each and every person was carrying some expertise with them. But when we are talking about the parallel team, so these teams are form of members working within the organization. So all the people working within the organization, the team will be framed from that only. Members are given added responsibility to take care of which they have to handle parallel, and hence the name parallel team came. So they have to handle the parallel responsibility. Means the work, the role which they were doing, they have been added with, given with some other roles simultaneously. They have to work on both the things. They have to take care of both the things parallelly. So that is why these teams are known as parallel teams. Now the team is intact till the end and no one leaves in between. Same as the network team. In network team also, even if the work finishes, the team member hardly leaves the team. Same way, when we are talking about the parallel team, the team is intact. The team stays there till the end. No person leaves the team in between till the time the work is not accomplished. Parallel teams are used in companies like R&D, sales, marketing, wherein all the team members put forth their views and perspective to achieve the determined goal. Now, under this team, here all the team members are having the right to participate in the decision making, to present their views, to present their perspective, by which we can achieve the determined goals of the organization or the task which is being given to the team only. So basically, the parallel teams are seen in R&D, research, sales, marketing kind of businesses where they present their views, perspective to achieve the desired results, goals, objectives of the organization. And here they are being given with the added responsibility which they have to take care along with the work they have been already given. So parallelly, simultaneously, they work on two different responsibilities. Next is project development or product development teams. So members, project development and product development team means members are brought together from different parts of the globe. See, product is something which is very important. So in this, we require various subject matter experts, expert knowledge, expert skills. We need all those things to develop a project or to develop a product. In that case, so members are brought together from different parts of the globe. They keep on hiring, they keep on searching for the best talent. And whenever they find the best talent, they bring them together. So here, people from any part of the globe can be appointed to work as a team for the development of the product or the project. They have an aim to develop a product or a system. The main aim is to develop a product on the system, and various subject experts from different parts of the country come together to make something unique. Let's just take the example, like when the vaccination, when everyone around the world was searching for the vaccination. So people from across the country, all the scientists came together to develop that, to make that vaccine. So expertise knowledge, expertise skills, when these type of things are needed, people from around the country, around the globe come together to make something which is unique and different. Well, when two different unique things combine, it gives a innovation to a new product, new thing. Same way, when experts in their field will combine their knowledge, and something unique and creative is going to come. Fourth is work, production, or functional team. So these teams are formed when the team members need to perform a single type of task. Whenever the team has to perform a single same type of task, one task, then for that purpose, the work production or functional teams are formed and the work responsibility and the roles are clearly defined. Here, what role, what work, what responsibility is being given to each and every individual is very clearly defined. So these are the specific, these are the teams which work on just one single task, no parallel, no dual responsibility is given. And when these teams are formed in the beginning, in the initial stage of the formation of the team, the work, responsibilities, roles, everything is clearly defined to them. Now here, work production and functional. It can be a work team, it can be a production team, it can be a functional team for something specific. Next comes is the service teams. Now these teams are formed in technical and custom support teams. Services, the word suggests service means the teams which are into the service line, the teams which are providing some kind of services to the people around the world. So these basically are formed in the service industry only. These teams are formed in technical or customer support teams, and the service company who need to give 24/7 support choose to have a service team. Now, service team, there has to be rotations because these teams are the one which has to provide the services to the customer. Now, when the customer service comes into existence, we cannot be assured that at what time they need the service. It has to run 24/7. So these teams, the service teams are active, are always working by 24/7 to provide the support to the customers. The team members are from different time zones and geographic piece so as to charter the 24/7 service to the customers. Now, why? There is specific reason and a big purpose why we hire people from different geographical location for the service team. Now, when we are talking about service team, they have clearly specified that these teams work round the clock, that is 24/7. These teams are working 24/7. Let's say we have hired people from India, they cannot work 24/7, right? Even if we go for the rotational shift, at times it becomes very difficult to work, right? Though people are working. But for the smooth functioning, what they can do is they can hire people from different geographical location, and this way they can keep up their service for 24/7. So here the team members are basically from the different geographical locations, from different time zones, so as to charter their 24/7 service to the customer. Now the next type of teams are the action teams. These are the power-packed teams which come together for resolving a problem. Now, as the word suggests, action, so they are coming together to perform any specific kind of action, right? So let's say there is a very big problem in the organization. Let's say the launch of the product was supposed to be there, but the production is stopped and labors are not working. You have to launch the product, everything, promotion, campaigning, everything, advertisement, everything is done for the product. Now what to do? How we are going to manage that thing? In that case, they create an action team. The action team, which is a power pack team, and people from all specialized knowledge, skills. Here basically they need the skills. So those will come together to resolve the problem which the organization or the employees are facing. Let's say here the problem of convincing the laborers to go back to work, to start with the process again, to start with the production again. So that is the work they have to do. So that is the action. For that action, the people come together they resolve the problem, and once done, they dispense as soon as the solution is found. So these are not the long-term teams like which will continue. Once made, the people are giving them back-to-back work, new projects they are taking. No, these are the action-oriented team. They come together to perform a specific function, specific action. Once that thing is done, once they achieve that, let's say once the problem is solved, once the resolution is being made, then as soon as it is done, they disperse and they are back with their own teams or their individual work. So basically, action teams are for the specific situation, to deal with the specific situation, specific purpose. Now the action team can be, let's say the teams are made for the cultural event. Those are the action team, because once that is done, they'll disperse. Management team. Then comes the management team. Big MNC have the management team dispersed all over the nation or the world while taking important and difficult decisions of the company. Now, when we are talking about the management team, so basically this management team means that the people from the top level management will be there. Right. So here, the people, big MNCs, when we're talking about big MNCs, management teams, so it have people from all over the nation and the world while taking important and difficult decisions for the company, because these teams are made to take very important and difficult decisions of the company. So it requires high level of expertise people in the team. Any random person cannot be considered, cannot be a member of the management team. The persons from the top management from all over the outlets, over the nation or the world has to be the part of this management team, because they have come together, because they'll be discussing about the difficult decisions of the company, important decisions, growth perspective of the company or the future opportunities of the company. So there they need the expert people. So basically these management team will have the top level management from over the nation or the world who are taking active participation in the important and the difficult decisions which are to be made for the company. Management teams are formed and they come together visually to solve the corporate level strategies. So they come together visually, and their main aim, their main aim is to solve the corporate, to prepare the strategies, to solve the corporate level strategies, to solve the corporate level problems. For that, they all come together, they work together and find the best possible solution for the company. Next is offshore ISD company. So companies outsource the task to other countries where the cost of getting the work done is less. So what the company do, they outsource, they hire some other people, some other companies to get their work done where they have to pay less cost. Let's say we need the translators. Okay, the language barrier is there and we are dealing with a new client where we have the need of translators. So in that situation, for having those translators, what's the best thing we can do? Instead of hiring a full-time translator, because we need them only when we are talking with the client, rest we do not need them. So in that situation, when we need the translators, we can outsource those things. Whenever there will be required, the company is going to provide us one. So this way we will be reducing our cost. The cost of getting the work done is going to be less as compared to appointing a full-time translator for the organization. So offshore ISD team means company outsource the task, company take the help of the other companies or the freelancers where getting the work done will cost them less. Second thing, team at two different locations fine tunes by effective give and take task result. Team at two different locations, fine tunes by effective give and take of task and results. They give something, they get something. This model is followed by all software development outsourcing firms. This model, each and every firm follow this model. You know, if we want to, let's say we want to get the website design, we are not going to hire a full-time designer to design the website. We can just go outsource that thing and that person can get that work done. So it is always said that outsourcing the work will most of the time cost you less if you do not want them for the full time. So these are the offshore ISD teams. Now after offshore ISD team, all these 8 types of teams which we have discussed are the types of virtual team. You know why they are type of virtual team? Let's say we are taking the help of offshore ISD teams. We are not going to call them to our organization to work. They'll be working sitting at their own office. So that way it is virtual. See, virtual doesn't always means what we are doing right now, that organization, the people from the same organization are working together, sitting at different geographical location. There are many different types why people are being working virtually. Let's say there are 5 offices, 5 branches. You know, 5 branches are a different place. Now it is not because of the pandemic the team is working virtually. The team is working virtually because everyone is sitting and managing their own outlet. So in that situation, when they are sitting at different places, when they are working virtually, again, it is a type of virtual team. Now, when we are outsourcing the service, why we are outsourcing the service? Because we want it to be cost effective. We want to spend less and get the work done. So in that case, the company, the industry, the organization which we are hiring for our work, they are not going to come to our office. They'll be sitting at their place and they'll get the work done and they'll give it to us. So again, we are sitting at different places and we are doing our work. So basically, companies outsource the task to the other countries where the cost of getting the work done is less. So these are the different types of virtual teams which are formed as per the requirement of the organization. You know, let's say, let's take the example of Walmart. The corporate office is in USA. It is not in India, but in India also we have the office for Walmart. So now it is not because of the pandemic the team will be working virtually. Even if they go to office, people will be going to US office, Indian people will be going to Indian office. But there has to be some link between them. So they'll be hiring people from Indian office, from US office, who will be getting together, who will be working together to take the different decisions for the company. So again, what they are doing, they are working virtually only. No, they cannot, for each and everything, they cannot go and meet. You know, people every time cannot travel from India to USA or USA to India. So that is how, for different purposes, different reasons, the team have started working virtually. And this is not only because of the pandemic. No doubt, because of the pandemic, the virtual way of working have evolved and people have started realizing that yes, working from home can also be more effective, more productive. But when we are just talking about the different types of team, these teams were into existence before the pandemic also. Virtual team building and management is not only related to the pandemic which happened last year. Before that pandemic also, teams were working virtually in the organization. Though employees were going to the organization, they were at their base location. But when we were having different outlets at different cities, in that case, the top management were working virtually, having virtual meetings, virtual way of working was there also. So with this, we have finished with the types of virtual teams. Now, see, in the last session, when we were discussing about the ways of making virtual team work. Do you have any doubt related to that? No. So if we talk about the important elements of virtual team, what do you think, what are going to be the most important elements of virtual team? For me, one is autonomy. Autonomy means, urging the colleagues, telling the colleagues to accept the accountability, which is not going to improve the commitment, but it also strengthens the responsibility. Autonomy should be there. Next element for me is communication. Why communication is important? People are sitting at different geographical location. We are communicating virtually, either with the technology or over emails or phone calls. It is rightly said that majority of the communication, that says 55% of the communication is done by the body language. So, since they are spread out and up into, it is important that individual from various teams keeps the line of communication wide open always. Learn to overcome the geology issue easily through reliable communication, that is criticism, openness, and timely responsiveness, not just from management, but among the individual as well. Keep the task running. Now we are working virtually, so it should be very much clear to each and every employee that even if you are working virtually, you have to be available during the official business hour. Let's say the official hour starts from 9 and it ends at 7. So from 9 to 7, you need to answer all the calls on timely basis. You cannot be busy with your own work, saying giving different number of excuses, because see, this is the only way by which we can communicate, we can talk to each other, we can solve the problems, we can get the solution. So you need to be available. Even if you are working from home, you need to be available on phone from Monday to Friday, from morning 9 to 7. That should be clearly communicated, so that in case of emergency, if you need any help, the person, the assigned person is available. Next thing is collaboration. Effective collaboration is important, as they have to work together to complete their task in time and achieve desired result. Now, I know physical collaboration is not possible, but still there are various different software tools which are really helpful in facilitating virtual collaboration and remote teamwork. Everything is going digital. The things are going digital. We have everything available. The only thing is we just have to find the right software tool, right tools to get the smooth working of the team. Because virtual working, regular update about the things, how the things are going, what did the person do, let's say, what role, what part he did today. So everything needs to be shared with each and every person. So this is not possible that every time you are calling and updating. You can go with any of the tools, software tools, where you are regularly updating your work, so that each and every person in the team is updated about what you have done, how much the team has achieved, how much an individual person has achieved. So for that, there are various different software tools which you should use to facilitate virtual collaboration and remote teamwork. Then comes this motivation. Motivation is something which is always required, whether you're working physical office or you're working from home, you're working at different geographical location. Every person needs to be motivated. A motivated person will always deliver the best possible results. So virtual teams where the team members are always motivated and engaged can perform better than those with disengaged employee. This is really true. that the virtual team where the team members are always motivated. A motivated person will always deliver the best results as compared to the demotivated or disengaged employee. So to reach the goals, which in turn translate to better productivity, profitability, retention, leaders need to ensure that the team members are highly motivated. And for this, leader have to find out their individual motivation, that what things motivate an individual employee. Next is trust. Building trust is crucial when we are working from different geographical location, but still trust is an important factor for virtual team, as here all the team members will be working from different locations where spontaneous interaction are not only challenging but increasingly difficult as well. These challenges are very difficult. How to build trust? Just imagine you have never met a person in person, and then you have to build that trust, you have to develop this trust, you have to build an environment of trust. It is really challenging, but it is not impossible if the team are brought together, they start collaborating, they start working with each other. So here it becomes easy to create an environment of trust even when the teams are working virtually. So these are the few elements which are required for the effective working of the team. Now with this, we have finished with the types of team and the elements of the virtual team building. Now in the next session, we'll be going ahead with the next topic. But before that, if you have any doubt related to the principle, concept, types of virtual team, please let me know, because now in the next session, we'll be starting with the new topic, new heading in the virtual team building. Here in virtual team building, one thing which is very important is the role of the manager and the leader. How the manager manages the team, how the manager keeps the communication open and clear, how the manager helps in bringing the team together, collaborating the team, building the environment of trust. That is very important. If you are able to manage those things, then yes, you will get the good efficiency delivered by your team members, even if they are working virtually. Because in the past scenario, in past 1 year, every company has seen that working virtually has increased the productivity and efficiency of the employees, because it has saved a lot of things. The commute time is saved, traveling time is saved, you're unnecessary wasting the time in gossiping. Though that used to be one of the way of creating that trust bond among the team members, that is missing, but still lot of time is saved over there also, and ultimately it has given the increased efficiency of the employees to perform their work. With this, we have come to the end of today's session. We'll have the next session designed for today, that is anger management, the ways to control your anger and why controlling your anger is important. I have been talking about controlling the anger from past 2 months, but I just want to know how many of you were successfully able to control your anger. Were the sessions beneficial for you? Yes. If you, controlling anger, see, it is again an emotion, right? It is an emotion only. So emotions are always in our hand to gain control over them. So when you want to control your emotion, the only thing you have to keep in mind is how you are going to send signals to your mind, how you are going to divert your mind so that you are not engaged in those things. You come out of that, you relax, you have time to think what went wrong and how you are going to deal. Anger is both positive and negative. If dealt with it positively, patiently, you will get positive result. But if it becomes aggressive, if on the spot you start shouting, start behaving with harsh words, rude words, aggressively, it will give you negative results. Okay, so we'll discuss more about the anger in the next session that we'll have at 4 o'clock. Till then, bye-bye, take care, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. If you have any doubts, you